Hi guys, welcome back to our series of video blogs on how to create a really good new starter induction. As usual, we have the most important person in the room, which is our induction specialist from Brenell Training, Gareth Hill. Gareth, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Ian. Very well. Yes, glad to be here again.
Excellent. Well, you're starting to know the form now. I'm going to ask you questions and put you on the spot. But if we look at what we talked about last time, we talked about the content that usually goes into an induction and the other stuff that you could put on top of that to make not only new starter inductions become really effective, but actually really enjoyable as well. Now, towards the end of that conversation, you actually got a little bit serious and you started talking about budgets and how important they were. So why are budgets and budget setting with regards to new starter inductions so important?
Budgets, at the end of the day, they're either going to drive your project or they're going to kill it very quickly. Without a budget, you're going to spend a lot more than you planned or even thought about, and often you're going to end up with spending it in the wrong areas. You cannot plan your resources, and that's one of the sort of frustrating things without a good budget. And ultimately, a well-formulated budget is going to ensure you can complete your induction and ultimately deliver it.
Great stuff. Okay, then. So it's actually really quite an important subject. So when you're setting a budget, what are the things that you need to consider?
It comes down really to the two key things, really. One, you've got a set-up budget. Two, you'll need an ongoing budget for the rest of the financial year. So theoretically here, we've got to look at everything, because everything comes with a cost. The resources you use, the time that you spend on it, the tools that you need, the skills ultimately to get it done. There's all of this stuff comes in at a price. So without that budget, you've got to do it. The ongoing side of things as well plays a big part for the rest of the budget. This is all about the resources you're going to need to deliver it and to get it to an operational status. It's all about the venues you want to use. You might have resources internally, but ultimately you might need to be delivering this around the country. It may be about the attendees, any updates and changes throughout the year, as well as printing costs and catering, etc., required for it. So there's a lot going to go into this.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's probably a lot of work, I'm sure you'll agree. Now, another thing I'm sure you'll agree on is most people nowadays are busy. Most people are at full capacity. I know I am. So say, for example, I am at full capacity, but I do need to get an induction in place. What can I do?
I think this is where companies like ours, but there are others around where you have the ability to bring in that resource. You have a team. The likelihood of you having a team that's only doing half of a job and has the capacity to take this on is often never the case. We've done a lot of projects where we come in and we're that additional resource. We can work with your teams. We can work with your people. We can, we're as if you're a part of your business, learning, all about your values, your brand, your business, and turn that into your induction. So, getting the right people involved, getting the right resources and tools, and making sure that, they are there to support and get this project without having a serious implication on your current projects or your current business needs. That's where, external resources really help and ensure the job gets done.
In an economical way, I'm sure.
Of course.
So, lots of things to think about as usual. I'm sure you're getting better at answering these questions. But if you don't think about budget setting, if you don't give it its due consideration, or you don't set a budget at all with regards to new starter inductions, what's the implications of that?
I suppose the worst thing you could consider here is it could often lead to a failure. A failure is a strong word. What we really mean here is that it could be a poor implementation, a poor experience. Your new starters, with all the dreams we had of creating a great new starter experience, you're often going to end up with this situation where maybe it's not the induction you wanted. It doesn't hit the mark. It's ticking certain boxes, but not ticking them all. It's not the experience that people come away with and start telling others about that inspires them to think about your company in a different way. So, if your induction doesn't deliver what is wanted or expected, you're going to feel really disappointed. But not only that, so are your people. So this is all about making sure it doesn't fail, having the right things in place, and ultimately, budgeting for the success you want it to be.
An excellent and well-made point, Gareth. Thank you very much. I mean, I think we've all been on inductions where we feel like it's a ticky box exercise, when really what we want is to go on something that's worthwhile and enjoyable. So thanks for everything that you've given us today. This is the end of video blog number 3. In video blog number 4, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of actually designing your induction. So Gareth, thank you very much for your time again today.
Thank you, Ian. Appreciate your time.
See you all again soon. Thank you.